Yo, yo, yo. Welcome to the On Everything podcast. I'm Gene the Dream. She is Ella Brown on the set. Ella, what's popping? How you doing this week?
I'm doing good. Are you ready for the holiday?
Yeah, I'm super excited. Absolutely.
Me too. What you gonna do?
I'm actually going away afterward, but I got some outings planned. I'm gonna pop up at some barbecues. I'm pulling up.
Yeah.
I heard it's supposed to rain. Hopefully not, but if the weather holds up, I'll be popping around to people barbecues. Like, yo, what up, cousin?
It's gonna rain all. I think it's supposed to rain. It might be in New York too. It's gonna rain all week down here. But I'm still going to a barbecue tomorrow, and I'm still going to event Sunday. So rain or shine.
Yeah, I'm stacking plates. I'm bringing my to-go containers. I don't like picking through. I don't know if it's just me or I don't like picking through people's plates in front of them because, I'm a real picky eater.
Okay.
And so, I gotta pull apart the chicken to make sure it's fully cooked. Things like that.
Petty.
Yeah.
Pulling apart the chicken, what are you doing? That might be some obsessive compulsive behavior, pulling apart chicken.
You know what it is? I think that it's nothing worse than getting to the end of chicken, chewing it up, and then realizing that it's not fully cooked. You know what I mean?
That's the worst.
So, I don't know, people grill times or how long they, put the food on and stuff like that. I just got to make sure stuff is fully cooked. I mean, I can always just eat a glizzy or something eat a hot dog or whatever, but, or a burger. But, I'm really funny with how I eat. So I try not to eat in front of people, It's the same. I'm the same way with restaurants. I send food back all the time. Listen, this is not fully cooked. I can't eat it. I'm sorry. Send me something.
Good. I mean, you know what you want. You know how you like it. So they got to fix it how you like it.
Mm-hmm.
At least with restaurants. Oh my gosh, Gene, today, this show is going to be so fun. And I'm going to tell you, we might have to have a part 2 because there's so much stuff that we do now. When I tell you this, it's going to be a trip. So the Black comedy that we're talking about and the Black funny facts that we are talking about today, we are going to end it with something serious that I'd like our viewers and listeners to tune into this weekend.
Yeah.
But for the show, it is everything Black people. And let me know, callers, let us know, call in. And then also comment in the chat, whatever questions, if you have any comments, let us know if you remember any of this and let us know if this is applying to you today. Let me know when you're ready, Gene.
I'm ready. Let's get started.
All right. So I'm going to pick through some of it because it's so many. And it took a long time for me to find, but I found it. All right. Yeah. Charles, and it doesn't have the years, right? But we got the person's name. So everybody who is listening to us and watching us, if you want to know more about this person, just rewind the video and get the name, type the name in. If you want to learn more about the person, it'll bring them all up. Charles Sweet Mac Farnsley. And then you go comment. First to call someone else a jive turkey.
Oh
Charles
my goodness.
Sweet Mac Farnsley, the first to call someone else a jive turkey.
So you know what it is? I always wanted to know, where that saying came from. What the heck is a jive turkey? Where did that originate? Jive turkey, oh, you just jive or you're a jive turkey. That's crazy,
That's crazy. And then, some people, we may hear the older people use it today or whatever, but if you hear the older people that are older than us get real mad, it might come out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This one.
I still use the term shucking and jiving all the time. So and I'm not that old, but I use that term.
Yeah. And I can see you using that too. Okay, this one is for you. Sequoia Brimley, the first person to go straight to church on Sunday after leaving the club earlier that morning. And I'm talking about for you, because you know about church, so I know, we both, you know what I'm saying. But do you remember those days? I remember those days going to the club and then having to get up in the morning.
Yes, and you know what was crazy? Like I remember back in my club days, like because I got a late start to clubbing and stuff like that. But I remember my early club days, like being in a party or whatever, and like something like Kirk Franklin would come on, like Stomp, like that. That is nuts.
Yeah.
That's that, and I used to do it all the time though. Leave the club, try to make sure like, I was fresh enough to go to church and, not have that after club or alcohol smell on my breath while I'm in church. That used to be my move, my go-to move back in the days.
And if we were made to get up by our parents or grandparents or whoever, going in there and hoping that God forgives us for partying all night long in church and doing it every week like we had no business, like we didn't learn a thing the week before. Okay, look. Mm-hmm. Rodney Hot Rod McKenzie, first to tell someone they play too much.
You play too much.
Play too much. We all have said that.
People tell me that all the time, like, yo, you play too much. You play too much. Because, I stay joking. So.
You do. Thaddeus Collins, first person to wear a shower cap outside. Okay.
Oh, my God. God bless her heart. I always thought that was, like, to me, like, that's a bad look for people, like, just, going outside with the shower cap, even the bonnets, you guys, y'all
can do-rag, going to the corner store.
Yeah, like, even that, like, I don't like to go outside with do-rags. Anytime that I was outside with a do-rag, somebody, if I post a picture with a do-rag on, like, people are always like, take the do-rag off. What are you doing?
Yeah. Cephas McCoy. Okay, this is a trip, right? Cephas McCoy, first person to ask for change back from the church collection plate. Okay. Like,
yo, all right, I got my 10%. Like, yo, listen, give me my change back.
Oh my God, that's a trip.
You got change for a 20?
Yes. And we gotta let the people know, the people watching it, if you find any funny black facts, please let us know, y'all, and we will put them on the air. Let's talk crazy. Yes. All right. Let me find. It's so okay. Drew Graves. Mm-hmm. First to sell bootleg music and movies in barbershops and outside grocery stores.
Oh, he's lit.
Because that's what we do when you're trying to get on. I mean, what you gonna do?
Absolutely. And, not for nothing, I know people who make a living off of that, made a living off of that for years, I mean.
And that's how we've had to start, right, Gene? Because it hasn't been fair. It's never been economically fair to us. So absolutely. we have to do, but one thing we do, and we do know how to do is survive, and we know how to come up with things to make it work. And I feel like we do that. Do you feel like we do that better than?
More, yeah. Actually, I think that we do that better than most races. We do.
We have to survive.
Yeah. I mean, when you think about it, like you look at the history of Black people, we took things that were given to us as scraps. Like, you think about chitlins and everything soul food, basically. And we made that into, gourmet meals, like collard greens, pig feet, I still eat some of them things, because I grew up on it, but
I don't eat no pig feet.
I occasionally eat pig feet. I actually, I used to enjoy it. Now it's like, it's nothing. But back in the days, like I used to always eat it. It was something I always look forward to eating. Even when I go to soul food restaurants, they have one in Queens. It's called the Rib Shack. They actually sell pig feet, chitlins, all kinds of stuff. And I'm like, do I try it again? All right, let me try it. And, I'll try it and it's okay,
And then some of the things that was given to us as scraps, we turned that into a business. Everybody going trying to find soul food lines wrapped around a corner trying to get in.
You know what I'm saying? Like they got a million of people making shoes. We make our own jewelry, collard greens. Like Sean said, Sean said collard greens, that was everything.
Yes, yeah. Okay, Gene, I think I did this last week. Troy Booker, First to refer to a flavor of Kool-Aid as red. Now, why are we doing the colors? You know how we do the colors. We do the colors.
Yes. And Sean said the chicken wings too. Like everybody tries to claim chicken wings, but you know, like that was Black started, you know. But when we talk about when you talk about colored Kool-Aid, like, you know, it's orange, red, like you don't know what flavor it is, but listen, it's orange, it's red, it's yellow, the blue one, you know, like you don't know. Yeah. And they actually have like the flavors on the packet, but people never say it.
I know, we don't say it, and I hear that red a lot. Because I use red. I might say, well, yeah, I use the colors. I don't know, why do we do that? Why do you think we do that? If the color is, if the Kool-Aid is, what is the Kool-Aid? Cherry? I don't even know.
Cherry. It's cherry, yes.
That we don't want to say cherry? Why is, because it is like our community will say red. Why is it that we go to the color?
It's easier to describe, right? It's easier to describe. Whereas the only color that is the actual flavor is orange.
Yes, it is, because if somebody says cherry, I feel like somebody would say, "What you mean cherry? What you mean red?" I think it would be like something like that. Okay, Virgil T. Banks, first person to use the phrase "see what had happened was."
See what had happened was. So now, like that saying is always like associated. It's always associated with telling a lie.
Wait,
so
I'll take this next one.
If you say "see what happened was," like everybody thinks
what had happened was.
Everybody goes, "Okay, you lying because you taking time to create that story by saying that."
Let's talk crazy saying we just as lazy, LOL, easy word. That's what I was saying. What had happened was. Okay, this one, I almost have to get up for this. Watch it. Precious Robinson. First person to keep her gold jewelry in a Crown Royal bag. Okay.
Wow.
Precious. Why is her name Precious? Precious.
And the crazy part is, like, I don't think that I've ever had a Crown Royal bag, but I do know that the bags they look kind of fancy, so it looks nice probably putting the jewelry in there. I think that's kind of dope. You know?
And you know what I was thinking, what you said, the Crown Royal bag. I got one underneath my counter. It's purple.
Oh my God. You got jewelry in there?
I ain't got no jewelry in there. But I think, like you said, it looks classy because, you know, it makes me think about, you know how people will say, you know, Black people, African Americans, whatever, Black people, how, you know, we always want to be dressed. Remember, even when you go to church, like you could look like whatever throughout the week. But if you have one of them grandparents that come from one of them homes, like, look, put on your Sunday outfit. It might be the same outfit you wore every Sunday, but you want to dress up and that's, you know, give honor to the Lord. But we're always in fashion. But you know why I think about this, Gene? Do you think that's because we're used to being, we are still, but we're used to coming from and being kings and queens. We're used to having that money that was stolen from us. We're used to that. So do you think that's a cultural thing for us?
Yes, absolutely. Okay. That's definitely a cultural thing, and you know, like we were the richest people in history. So when you think about that, like storing jewelry and keeping money and stuff like that in those bags is probably more from our origins. Absolutely,
it is. Jefferson Clark.
Mm-hmm.
Now I feel like I've done this too years ago, but I did this too. Normalize the practice of shaking up a handful of sunflower seeds before eating it. Normalize the practice of shaking up a handful of sunflower seeds before eating it. Jefferson Clark's.
Wow.
That's wow.
Yeah, exactly.
But I used to eat sunflower seeds. All the time, and I don't know why you feel like you got to shake them up. We just need something to do. Yeah,
I mean, it's more of a habit, like, you know.
Look at Jonathan Lil. Lil is his, I guess, nickname. Jonathan Lil Johnny Porter. First person to tell a woman he drink her bath water.
To do what? I'm sorry.
Jonathan Little Johnny Porter, first person to tell a woman he drink her bathwater.
Oh man, that was like one of my favorite lines from the Martin TV show. He used to always say that to Gina, you know, like, girl, I'll drink your bath water.
Oh, I said nasty.
That's disgusting.
Well, you know, you'd have told somebody before in like high school or something like that on the low.
Where Let's Get Busy podcast, they asked who was the first person to stash money in their bra. I don't see a history of it because I actually tried to research it real quick, you know?
I said never.
I used to say that.
Who was that to stash the thing? Because I know, ladies, we've all done that, especially if you forget your purse or you getting out the car and you don't want to carry your purse going in. You don't have no pockets. That's the first thing we do, and that's crazy. And then give it right to the teller. That's crazy.
Yeah, or pull it out and give it to somebody. Like, hey, I got $5 for you. Oh my God, like.
That's what or grandmoms used to do stuff like that. Come here, baby. Come here. Yeah. Let me give you something. Ooh, okay. Tawana, here we go. Because this is going on right now, big time. Even you being a male, you've seen it with the females. Tawanda Davis, first person to use hair gel to create baby hair all over the head.
And her name had to be Tawanda, right? Tawanda.
Go ahead, Tawanda.
Tawanda. Yeah, that is crazy.
Will Richards, first man to put something on his mama. Touch me again and we're going to fight, man. I put that on my mama.
You know what's crazy? Like, I always used to be scared to do that. Like, you know, just to put anything on anybody. You know, because, you know, my background, I grew up in church. So it's always like, don't swear. So, you know, like, you know how people be like, I swear on my mama. Like, oh, I swear, I couldn't do it.
I don't think I did that either because you don't want anything to happen to your it just sounds like something getting ready to happen. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Okay, this right here, I got a question for you because I've seen this in multiple churches and I know you have too. Reverend W.J. Shanklin, inventor of the Church Building Fund. Okay, you already know Church Building Fund, Maintenance Fund, Pastor Fund.
But listen, right? Church building funds are like a never-ending type of situation. Like when you think about church building funds, like that's you know, like I've when I think about my childhood, like I've seen building funds go on from when I was a kid to when I was a grown man, and nothing ever changed with the church, right? But one thing I did learn as I got older and I got into positions, Sean said the pocket fund. So what happened was, as I got older, I realized that there was a lot of things that needed to be taken care of in the church, like if you owned a house. So like not just the mortgage, but besides the mortgage, like you had to take care of the lights, the water, and all the other things. And you know, like sometimes the church would give food and stuff like that. So I think that the building fund, is a positive. I look at building funds as a positive, but as a whole. But there are a lot of churches that take advantage of the building.
That's what I feel like. If you need a building fund, right? If you in church and all of that stuff, you want to get to the house, you want to get to the Lord, you help build up the church and the house and keep. But what I'm saying is, when you got a building fund, you got the pastor's fund, you got the pastor offering, you got the deacon fund, you got the kids fund, you got the gym fund. How many funds? How much is it going to cost you to go to church?
Well, if you look at it again as a whole, like there's a lot of things that comes along with actually owning a church or being a pastor, depending on what kind of organization you're in. So like some organizations like just leave you alone as a church where you don't have like money pouring in from the top down.
Yeah.
You know, like it's like you have to create your own finances to keep the church funded. So I think that it drives the church more than a building fund saying, hey, we're going to build this thing up, and it drives the money. But at the same time, I do believe that like some churches, like you just got to take care of the church. You actually got to do it. Like if people are contributing to your building fund, then you should probably put in new benches with cushions. Like, because it's nothing that I hate more than going to sit on some hard seats at church anyway. We're going to be here for a while. You might as well make it comfortable,
Yeah, and like you said, I guess it depends on if you got a big church, small church, your membership and all that. But I just feel like I can't keep paying every Sunday just to go to church. I mean, I can read the word of God or whatever I want to support, but I don't want to be ran down against all these funds. Okay, look at this. Rufus. Well,
come on, Rufus.
Okay, you hear it right? Rufus, right? Now watch what this. Rufus was the first man to shoot someone over a game of spades.
Oh, wow. Yo, come on, Rufus. Come on, Rufus. How you shooting people over spades? Most people don't even gamble over the game of spades. So, like, how you get, I guess you can really get mad at somebody that reneges, or, you know what I mean? Like, you could get mad at people, or if they cut your book and they're on the same team as you, but it's really hard to, like, really get mad over spades.
Yeah. Do we have the phone lines open yet? We're working on that.
I don't think so.
Okay. All right, look. Vernon McDaniels. First person to eat a mayonnaise sandwich.
Ew.
I know. Ew,
What's
right?
that man's like? First of all, like, let me just say this up the top. I don't like mayonnaise. Actually, like, I don't like to eat nothing white. So I'm kind of funny with, like anything, if it's white, I'm probably not going to eat it. So, like, to eat some mayonnaise sandwich is probably one of the, I don't have a reason for it. I think one time when I was young, I probably tried some nasty or some spoiled mayonnaise maybe. And or Miracle Whip or something, like, and it's like, after that, never again. Like, I really, like, you could give me Alfredo, I'll pick through it, but I probably won't eat it. I told you I'm a real picky eater, so, like, I don't like to eat people's cooking to begin with. So, like, but when it comes to, like, mayonnaise, anything white, I'm good.
Yeah, I think I did that. Alfredo, I'm not a big fan of Alfredo, but, like, when you dieting, that's one of the things that I learned, at least when I was dieting years ago, and they would say nothing white, at least why you want to diet, no rice because of all the starch. Mm-hmm. Okay, 5 minutes. I think he's saying 5 minutes for the phone line. Good. I need somebody to call in here and give us some stuff.
Yeah, somebody said I'm lying. Listen, you can ask anybody that I know.
On O Nation. He said he lying. Okay, so it might be somebody that knows you that put you on blast. Tell the truth.
That's not somebody that know me.
We just bought some Alfredo.
Definitely wasn't me. It wasn't me, dog. I'm definitely, and listen, I definitely would not buy Alfredo. And the crazy thing is, I'm allergic to tomato sauce, right?
Oh my God.
I'm allergic to tomatoes, period. But I will still buy anything with tomato sauce. I will buy penny alla vodka. I will buy anything not to eat Alfredo. Because I don't.
Alfredo got a different type of taste.
I don't like blue cheese. I don't like, like I'll dabble with the other one. I forgot what it is, but ranch. I'll with it, but yeah, I'm good. Anything white, I'm good.
Nakia Nee. Okay, that's a nickname. Nakia Nee. So watch it. Halsworth. That's Halsworth. First person to use the phrase "than a mug" to describe something. It's colder than a mug out here.
It's crazier than a mug out here. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. Tyrone Claiborne. First person to refer to somebody as play cousin. I used to say that all the time.
I mean, I used that phrase before. Play cousins. That's my play cousins. And like I got people now like that still call me their cousins, like, and it's like I'll call them on the phone. They're like, "What up, cuz?" And I'm just saying, they're like, "Bro, we really not related, right?" Like,
Because because we all, I guess, look at ourselves like, at least in our community, like we all family. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like we all brothers and sisters and stuff. I think that's the way it should be.
That's usually my reply is, yo, what's up, family? You know, like, all right, you want to play cousins? I'm gonna call you family, all right?
Yeah, and it ain't no nothing stuff. I mean, it ain't no nothing else. Like, we're not trying to give you nothing like fam. Like, we just love who you are. We got love for you.
Exactly.
Okay. This one, okay. I don't know if I can get this one up. Let me see.
I was doing some research while you're looking that up. I was doing some research myself, and I was looking up. I was trying to see what is it with Black people and napkins, right? Like,
why we use them or why we don't use them?
No, why we take so many when we go to stores?
Why do we? Because I do that.
I was really trying to figure it out. I'm like, yeah, were we deprived of napkins in our past or during slavery? Like, we didn't have napkins. I don't understand why when Black people go to the store, like even a Dunkin' Donuts, like you'll see, or Starbucks, whatever your pleasure, like you'll see, white people walk out without napkins, and like Black people, like it's like, oh, I'm going to take 5. Oh, I'm going to take 8. Like, what is it with Black people and napkins?
Oh, is it Ono Nation?
Yeah, Ono Nation.
Stop up in the house. That is true. Because, I mean, my friends, people take toilet paper from the public restroom, especially if they have an extra roll. You haven't used it? Okay, in the purse, all that stuff. You have to stock up at the house.
Now that's one thing. You know what's crazy? Like, I have a car. My car is full of napkins. And like occasionally, like I just get angry with it and I throw out all the napkins because I'm like, what am I doing with all of these napkins? Like, and I was really trying to research what is the connection between Black people and napkins. Like, there got to be like some type of connection. It's
you
crazy.
Want me to look it up?
Yeah, if you can, absolutely.
Okay, while I'm looking it up, napkins. Wait a minute. Georgia Buston. Okay, tell me if you heard of this. First person to attempt to heal a broken limb with Robitussin and witch hazel. Okay.
Come on now.
Yeah, Georgia did it. What in the world? First person.
Oh my God.
Witch hazel. I mean, whether I don't know if it's the insurance or money or whatever, because there's been many times when I didn't have insurance, money or whatever. You got to do what you have to do. But when they said that, you know how it was like we do with our kids, or like our parents used to do with us when they like, Terry said, what about all those ketchup and jelly packets? Yes,
that's another thing. Like, oh my God,
my refrigerator.
Oh God, are you keep ketchup in the fridge too?
I've got those stacks, and I've got them in. It was so much. I had to get them out the drawer with the butter, and I just put them in a cup. You know how you put them in a cup, and you got ketchup and jelly and all kinds of stuff, and I still got them in there.
They're doing construction they just finished doing construction in my house, right? So I ended up throwing away like so many packets, and I'm like, what were we doing with it? Like, I mean, I had duck sauce, soy sauce, ketchup, jelly packets, butter, like all kinds of stuff. And I'm like, what were we doing with it? I mean, even the extra syrup packets that come with pancakes.
I got that too.
I threw away so much stuff just now.
It's a mess.
Yeah.
Willie Lambert.
Okay, so I see the phone line is popping. So if y'all want to holler at us, the phone number is 929-441-2417 on the On Everything podcast. Let's get it, y'all.
Yeah, call in and let us know something, y'all, especially, and let the audience know something we didn't know. I might have to give you my packets when I come back from break. It's a hot mess, G. I got them all in the cup. But I got bottles of ketchup. You know what I'm saying? I got a bottle of ketchup, but I still got the ketchup packets in there. Willie Lambert. Willie Lambert, first man to slap the taste out of somebody's mouth.
I'm gonna slap the taste out of your mouth. Oh my goodness, like that is crazy. So that, I mean, like that saying, like I always try to figure it out, but you know, it can't be a literal thing. So that's hilarious.
Okay, Trisha Jones, first person to have.
We got a caller.
Oh, caller.
Hello.
Okay, caller.
What's up, y'all?
Shice, what's poppin'?
Listen, I just had to let you know. I want to know who was the first person to ever say to a woman, "You look so good, I'll suck your daddy." You know.
You was crazy.
I can barely hear him.
All right, he said he wanted to know who's the first person to ever say, "You look so good, I'll suck your daddy's bleep." So
I'm just saying.
I mean, to me, like the first time I heard that, it had to be Biggie Smalls. That was the first time I heard it, and
I was upset. That makes me upset. Nobody should ever say that.
Ever, like that's never okay. Like there's no way that you can okay that comment.
No,
never.
And the man, are you saying it was Biggie Smalls?
Yeah, he was the first person. Biggie Smalls was the first person I ever heard say that on a song.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't even know what
that line, like it had. I mean, to me, like knowing who Biggie Smalls was and what he did, I know that it probably didn't originate with him. It probably came from somewhere like old school. So we're gonna look that up. And Shice, when we come back from the break, because we're about to hit a break real quick. When we come back from the break, I promise you I'm gonna get to it.
I wanted to say, yo, y'all doing a joke thing. Yo, this is funny. I'm in here laughing. But y'all keep doing y'all thing.
Thank you,
what's up, my brother? That's what's up, my brother. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the call. We appreciate you. All right, we're going to hit this break real quick, and we come back. We're going to answer the Shice question, and we're going to get into more funny black facts. Thank y'all.
Listening to podcast shows and do not know where to start? The Evening Rush Network can help you with that. Call us at 929-441-2417 or email us at theeveningrushnetwork@gmail.com for dates and prices. We got you for all your podcast needs. The Evening Rush Network. Tune in, subscribe, and share.
And we're back. And we're back.
I found it. Well, I didn't find, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if this originated, but it was saying somebody meet you on Twitter. This was about 6 years ago. And he said, Biggie really said, "You look so good, I'll suck your daddy's." And he said, like, wrote that down, proofread it, recorded it, and was like, "This the one."
I would say like that has to be the worst line, because like Shai said, like that is something that a man should never say. It's not okay. It's not okay unless you live in an alternate lifestyle and that's your preference. I'm not knocking it.
This right here.
Mm-hmm.
Be honest. I've done this many a days. May have to do it before. I mean, I'm not claiming that. I hope I won't. But yeah, times get rough and the gas prices are high. Jason Hill, first person to purchase $2 worth of gas at a gas station.
Ella, can I tell you something? I'm going to share this with you, and I'm going to share this with y'all one time, and I'm never going to mention it again. It's going to be going in the dust.
We'll just replay.
Yes. One time, I actually purchased 50 cents in gas.
Okay. Stop it right now. Wait. Wait. What? Wait. How and it worked?
It got me to where I needed to go. Yeah.
It did, because I'm thinking, but you know what? I wonder, when was it? How much was gas when you did it? How much approximately was gas?
It had to be about one something. It was around one something at the time. Like maybe
Okay, so
like
maybe
180 or something, a gallon or something like that.
Okay, so if gas is like what? Gas is like what? $3, so that's still like $1.50 in gas, like $1.50 in gas. So yours was 50.
I made it to where I was going, and every
That's
time
what it is.
I
And
tried
look,
to
I
do
couldn't
it.
even. That's not even bad. I thought you was getting ready to say something, whatever. Like I feel like we all done did that in our community. We feel you. Oh,
Yeah.
that's how Crazy said. I purchased one.
Listen, like sometimes it's hard, man, and you got to do it. I've actually had the man at the gas station say, "Hey, listen, what you got is not enough, so I'm just going to give you $10. You know, like go ahead and make it home. When you get a chance, come back and see me." You know, like it happened.
You go back and see him.
I went back and seen him. Yes, absolutely.
Good.
Me and him are now friends. You know, like he's on my Facebook list. We friends.
Good.
You know?
Orville Washington, first man to wish an MF a wood.
Oh my God!
I don't know if we can say that on the show. You can say that on the show.
We can say it on the show, but I ain't saying it. You know, it's crazy. Like, I still wish I still wish somebody would. And people still say it to this day.
They do.
You know, like, and, you know, like, I don't know why you wish they would, because, like, if you respond, you're probably going to have to do something to them.
And you know what it reminds me of? Remember Kings of Comedy, Cedric the Entertainer?
Oh,
he was talking about the seed, and he was like, that's our seed, 4 and 5, 4 and 5.
Yes.
And he said, we live by the wish factor, right? Not we live by the wish. We wish somebody would.
Oh No Nation said pause, and I got you. That's my bad. You know what? I slipped up. You got it. You got it.
Buford Humphreys, first man to walk into a salon and request that his hair be fried, dyed, and laid to the side.
Come on now, talk to me. I actually had that done one time. Man, like I was looking like a bald rat. I'll never do that again to my hair.
How they do that?
So what happened is just getting a perm and getting it laid to the side. So I was looking crazy. Yes, I was looking crazy when I did it. I also tried the wash and set. Later on, if y'all in the On Everything podcast group, I'll post my pictures from me getting my James Brown was the person who used to always get it fried, dyed, and laid to the side. So basically, it makes your hair look really thin. So if you're on Everything podcast group, I'm gonna post it in there later from me getting a wash and set. You'll see my hair look crazy.
Please post it.
You know what? I'll post it. I don't mind making fun of myself.
Yeah, you know I'm gonna comment. Post it. Okay, wait. All right. This is okay, but I guess we still say this. Ambrose Willoughby. First person someone that they don't know nothing about this. You don't know nothing about this. You don't know nothing
about this. You don't know nothing. Now people changed it up a little bit. It's like, what you know about this? Instead of you don't know nothing about this, what you know about this? You know, like, that's a cool saying. That's dope.
Tanitra, okay?
Tanitra. Come on, Tanitra. Come on with the names.
Tanitra Holbrook. First person to call somebody, you remember when we used to do this all the time. First person to call somebody a player hater.
Oh, man. And you know what's crazy? Like, calling somebody a player hater is like saying, okay, because now we just say hater instead of saying player hater.
Yeah.
Now we just change it up. Okay, you're a hater. You know?
We do cut a lot of things off, though, don't you think?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Ooh, everybody, yes. Call in 929-441-2427.
Because
why do we cut a lot of things off? Do you think it's
like,
we just don't feel like saying the rest of it? Or it sounds...
History repeats itself. So what happens is, like, we might change it up a little bit, but it's still the same thing. Everything is still the same.
Yes. For real.
Yo,
For
we
real,
do Food
Precious.
Tuesday all day, Fatima.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
This is different. Tell me, I remember hearing this, but not too often. Tamika Bunsen, first person to begin a sentence with the phrase, me, myself, personally.
Wow.
You hear that a lot?
I used to hear it a lot, especially from like older drunk people, me, myself. They wouldn't say personally, but they would be like, me, myself, I do this.
So I said, me, my what? I'm not going anywhere. Okay, you remember this because I remember these in the living room. Samuel Hinckley Jr., first person to take a picture in a wicker chair.
Wow. You remember those wicker chairs?
Because my mom, back in, you know what I'm saying, in the 70s and all that, they had the wicker chairs, you know, and then you put the stuff on the walls. It looked like a fruit or something, but it was made of wicker.
Yeah.
And then you got the stuff in the corner, like those like look like tree little things or something.
Yeah, Sean said the baby shower days.
Yeah.
I think there's a real popular picture of Huey P. Newton in a wicker chair, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes. No, I think you're right. I think you're right.
And you know what's crazy is that like most wicker chairs, you know, from selling furniture, I know that those are made for outside.
I know.
Wicker chairs were made for like for outdoors. Like it's supposed to be able to like withstand like all temperatures and you know like.
I know.
That's what wicker chairs were for.
We brought them inside.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Ruthie, female Ruthie McCall.
Mm-hmm.
First person to coin the slang, I don't have to do but stay black and die.
Wow. You know what's crazy? Like when my mom used to always say that when somebody told her that she had to do something. Mm-hmm. She always used that. Come on, Ruth. But my mom used to always say that, and like when I was young, I never understood like the meaning of that. But you know, it's basically just saying, "Hey, listen, I don't got to do nothing." You know, like I don't got to do nothing. Whatever you think I got to do, I don't got to do that.
Right, like who are you telling me who you think I am and what I need to do and what I need? I ain't got to do nothing right here, baby girl. I ain't got to do nothing, sir.
Exactly. Y'all watching the On Everything podcast. We're sponsored by Sayings by Butter. Butter, we appreciate you. It's Sayings by Butter. She's dope. She does the clothes for us. Absolutely. Go check her page. She got everything y'all need.
Okay. You ready for the name? Then I'm gonna tell you what she said. Then I'm gonna tell you what she said.
Come on, names.
Okay, listen to what I'm saying. Vonique Bates. Vonique. It's a unique name, Vonique. First person to successfully slap the black off somebody.
Come on, how you do that?
I don't know.
Come on, Vonique.
Thelma? Okay, this is not Thelma. This is Thelma. Thalma.
Come on, Thelma.
Thelma Martin, cultivator of the Negro, but with the A. Negro, please. Facial expression.
I don't know what that facial expression looks like, but I can imagine.
Oh, Sean, they are everywhere. So they are all online. That's what I want everybody to look. If you missed, because I know we're running down a long list, and I know many of us, at least me and Jean, definitely can relate to this stuff. So if you type in the names or rewind the video, play it as much as you want, and just type in the names, and it'll bring up different sites with all of this list. So a lot of these sites have this same list.
It's Taco Friday over here. Go ahead.
Okay, listen, this one I know this well because it used to be in everybody's house. Well, I don't know if it used to be in everybody's house or why these people name these kids these crazy names. I just want to know how it's fine, but you know what? When you think you spelling it right, but then they say no, that's capital N, little a, the asterisk over it, and then you have a capital S, and then it's for Sean, it's SHAAUWN, like
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
you know how we do. Okay, Maybelle Brown.
I'm sorry, I got one for you. Like
Yes.
my mother, before my brother was born, right? She thought he was going to be a girl. So she had his name as Qualisha. Come on now.
Qualisha. Okay, I ain't even gonna try to spell it because it might be okay, Qualisha. And what happened? So you talking about before and then when she had him, what's his name?
She realized it was a boy. Like date of birth, she realized that it was a boy. So up until she gave birth to him, his name was Qualisha. And we in her stomach, like we talked to Qualisha, we were waiting for Qualisha to come home from the hospital. And when she came home from the hospital, it was a boy. We were all shocked. But I'm like, Ma, where did you come up with this name? And you see Sean saying poor 40, that's my brother 40. Okay. She called me Qualisha Antoine Brown. And I'm like, Ma, like that's gonna be the ghettoest name. And I think I had to be 6 years old, and I knew that had to be the most ghetto name that you could name somebody. But
what did she say? What was her reasoning for it?
That was the name she just came up with, Qualisha.
Oh, she just came. It was no reason why she liked it.
No reason. Qualisha came from nowhere, and she ended up naming him Jawan. I mean, the doctor offered to change him up to be a girl because she was so upset that he was her third son. She was so upset that she was having another boy instead of a girl. Like she was looking forward to the girl, bought things for the girl, and it was a boy. I guess back in those days, that was in 1985, I believe it was. So I thought the technology would be up there, but that was a shocking situation. But yeah, that was the crazy name situation. But go ahead, I'm sorry.
That's okay. And then I got one more. There might be a couple more. One more, and I just want to make sure. Before we go for the night, because we didn't use the whole hour talking about that. I'm saying, we can talk about our people and our culture and the things we have created that is still used today forever. And then I want to, we're going to end this on a note where it's really informational for the Black community. That's really important to do this. But Maybelle Brown, did I tell you? Did I say her?
No, you didn't. You ain't say Mabel yet.
But let me tell you what Mabel did. Because this is happening it was at my black home. It was in your black home. I think it's Maybelle Brown. First person to cover a piece of furniture in plastic for everyday use.
Wow. You know what? That's amazing though. And when you think about all of these stories, like you think about how creative Black people are. And how creative we had to be.
Yeah.
From back then, we had no choice other than to create things and be innovative. And America was built by Black people, and it still stands on our shoulders because of the work that we did as a people. So, we could make jokes and laugh about all the sayings and all the things that, Black people did. At the end of the day, I mean, I forgot the person's name. One person put paint rollers in their hair to make curls. And, we now have curlers, but people still do it. So when you think of, and
Madam CJ Walker with the perm, I mean, everybody knows that. We're gonna have to maybe have another show. Y'all was messing up her good furniture. That's right. Because we went to even my friend's house, my cousin's house, whatever, my house, they were not playing. It was covered in that heavy plastic, and you would be so hot in the summer.
I used to hate to fall asleep on my grandmother's couch and wake up stuck to the plastic with my face stuck to the plastic on her couch. Like, I used to hate it.
Yep. I
You know,
know.
like-
And I wonder, people probably still do that today. The older
I know
people.
people who do it today. To this day, I know people who do it.
Yeah. But my thing is, it keeps it new. And you know what? Because Black people, because the social economic status, I mean, we could have got it on ourselves, right? If things haven't been stolen from us, well, if everything hadn't been stolen from us, because we already had it, right? We come from kings and queens. So because of that, it's like when you went to either your mom's house or your grandmama's house or grandfather's house, the stuff that they had, they wanted to keep. Like my grandmother has stuff today that she's had for 30, 40 years. You know, you buy it one time, you spend that money, you keep it nice, you cover it up or whatever. And so that, you know, nothing happens to it, you know, because you got to make it last.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And just like I was saying, us as a people, like, we came very far and we still got so much further to go as far as getting back to where we were at. You know, like,
I'm gonna say this: it's time for and this will lead into what we get ready say to the people, the informational, and we thank y'all for joining us today with these Black Funny Facts. Please, if you still want to call in, you can still call in and let us know. But we just wanted to have a fun show, enjoy ourselves today, going into the weekend. We're hoping that you all enjoy your holiday. But Jean, I feel like at the end, nothing is going to ever make up for what was done to our people ever. So it will never happen, right? You can't replace all the lives, all the harm, and that is still going on. So my only thing is, another thing, in addition to, you know, building schools, having another, you know, Black Wall Street, all that stuff, is that, what do you think about reparations? Like, I believe you need to give us reparations. Now, what that looks like in 2021, I don't know.
There are other race groups who receive reparations, get things because of what was done to them, and it wasn't done to them even by America, but America still looks out for them.
Yeah.
But when it comes to the lives of Black people and what was done to us here, a lot of the history is denied.
Yeah.
And I mean, and I agree with you, Oh No Nation. They said,
What's that?
we don't want nothing from them. It's true, but we don't need nothing from them.
No, we don't need it, but you won't give something.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? You're not going, you know, we don't need it, but you're not just going to do that and think that, you know, just we going to continue.
No, exactly. It's just like spitting in my face and constantly spitting in my face. Eventually, something's got to happen. Now,
Yeah.
I'm an anti-violence person, so like I don't think that like we should respond with violence, but at the end of the day, you have to give us something back because of what you took from us and what you took us from.
I would say true. I would say I'm not for violence. However, you know, self-defense is always at play. I mean, we have the right to defend yourself. Everybody else been defending themselves.
Yes.
You have the right to defend yourselves. Like, if you know, those days are kind of gone. If you think we're gonna go out here and protest today, and you're gonna run up on us and spit and pull us, that's those days.
That is my feeling. Like, every time I see Black people marching, and you know the protests that happened recently, I mean, I thought, you know, like that was a strong statement, but at the same time, I feel like it wasn't enough. No. Like, I feel like at the end of the day, like we got to go a step further in order for us to get what we want and what we need as a people. But that can't happen without unity.
Yes, that's our main thing that we have to figure out how we're going to do it, because that is the main thing that keeps us divided, and we preach it
Mm-hmm.
But we don't really see it manifesting in the way it should be, because if we have unity, there's really no stopping us. And I think everybody knows that. It's just like, how do you get everybody on the same page? How do you?
Because if you look back at speeches from Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, or any of the other civil rights leaders, like they all preach unity, 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 unity. But there still was no unity. Even when you look back to the Black Panthers, there were other groups who didn't want to participate or join in with what they were doing, even though what they were doing was very positive.
They did a lot for the community.
Oh No Nation says house versus field. It wasn't even just house versus field.
Wasn't even that.
It was more than that. It was more than just house versus field. It was house versus field versus light skin field versus dark skin field.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like we got divided as a people, and we still are divided.
Yeah.
And if they don't divide us by our skin complexion, they divide us by our religion. They divide us everything, and they use everything to divide us. And the sad thing is that we participate in it. And we got all the way down to being divided by the color of our clothes. You wear red and you wear blue, so I got a problem with you.
But see, this is what I'm saying, which is true, Gene. And so we know this. And people who you know, will say unity, but not really about unity, and we don't really see any true unity, know this too. And say, oh yeah, that's what we should do. That's what we should do. And so we know what's been done to us. We know what's still being done to us. So even if you can do something small, that's fine. I just can't figure out why we cannot do it. You know?
I mean, it took me a long time to wake up. Like, I used to fight for a block that I lived on, but I didn't own. So I don't own the block. So why should I defend the block or feel like I own it? Or feel like this block, I'm entitled to anything that's on this block.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, or I'm from this project. I don't own that project. So why should I defend that project? Like,
yeah. And that's what I'm saying. How do we get with that? Because neighborhood beefs, turf beefs, you know, whatever, city to city.
It's all nonsense.
And we know it's by design. We know they sit back like we don't have to do anything. Why would we even do anything? Y'all doing everything yourselves, right? So how do we figure out that? And it's like we got so much animosity towards each other because we know that's how it started in the beginning. And they pit us against each other. But my thing is, now that it's been so many years and we are trying to get together, what do we need to get all of us on board with something?
I mean, it takes exactly that. Like, it takes unity. You know, it takes for us to really realize that me and you both, we might be different, but we have the same cause.
Yeah.
When you look at other races moving, you know, I don't want to single nobody out, but moving into the hood, opening stores, working together, they work together. They work together. You know, like, they might not be blood relatives or anything, but they work together and they make sure as one, as a unit, they all make money. So I can tell you, in my neighborhood, I can't walk into, I can walk into probably one store where I can buy a ham sandwich. One store.
So wait a minute, you walk into one store where you can buy a ham sandwich.
The rest of the stores out there are all owned by people that I can't buy a ham sandwich from.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so, and they all work together. You'll see the one guy from this store, one guy in this store. Next time he's in this store, they all work together as a unit. But for us as a as a people, like, we spend too much time focusing on superficial things and the things that don't matter, as opposed to working together, building up our economy. For us, we spend far too much time doing that. So, you know, I know you hinted at the Black Wall Street thing, and, you know, like that, you know, we could go right into that from this. that is exactly, you know, our problem as a people.
Correct. And who is this? And who's speaking in front of Congress?
Mm-hmm.
107-year-old Viola Fletcher. 107.
Yes.
And that's another thing that makes me so concerned, because you know how each generation, it seems like, have leaders.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't see one arising right now for this generation right now. I keep looking. We got the older people, and our older people are getting older. They're trying to pass down that fight, you know, good trouble, right? They're trying to pass down that fight to the younger generation, but I'm not seeing anybody, you know, taking.
Well, I will tell you the problem, and part of the problem is exactly what you just said.
What?
Too many of us are looking for leaders, and we're not trying to be leaders. When
is true, but what I'm saying is, no, I don't mean it like that. Each generation had leaders, and everybody was leaders, right? But there was all, like, when you talk about the Malcolm X. I'm not gonna do this.
I got mad respect for Ono Nation. I promise you, I'm gonna follow you. I love it. Yo, Kwame Brown will be our leader. Yes,
I like Ono Nation. But
yes.
my thing is, you know, I feel like it's echoing, but I feel like, true, it's not. I don't mean that. Like, you're looking for a leader and you wait. When you go out there and do it, what I am saying, there are going to be certain people that stand out above the others because that's the gift they were given. You know what I'm saying? And then other people work on the ground. That's the one they were given. You know what I'm saying? All of that. But everybody is doing, you know, grassroots. And so what I'm saying, when you think about the Malcolm X's, when you think about the Garveys, when you think about all of these people who arose, I'm saying I don't see anybody arising, or a number of people arising. Like, I don't. Me and my daughter were talking about that the other day.
I think it's more of a number of people are rising. I mean, like, I'm an optimist, so I always think positively. Like, I'm always looking, you know, and I see a lot of people rising, but what's happening is, like, the pushback is not strong enough.
As far as, explain what you mean.
So what I mean is, like, the people who I see rising, like, the what they're fighting for, or whatever, like, whatever it may be, it's not strong enough. So, like, you have to come up with, like, in order to be that person, like, you got to come up with a message that resonates with everybody in order for them to join. Like, so, you know, like, I like to think of people as a hand, right? So if your hand is like this and you hit somebody, that's strong, but it's not strong enough. It's just going to be a slap, right? I mean, I've seen people get knocked out with slaps, but it's not easy to do that. But it's a lot easier if all of those things are combined and you punch, right? So I look at, I want to see a fist. That's what I want to see. I want to see enough people join together for it to be a fist. And a lot of times, like, what's happening now is, like, you have Black Lives Matter, you have, you know, like, all the other Antifa, you have a bunch of groups, like, with people with messages and things that they say. But at the same time, I don't think that it's forceful enough. What they're demanding is not forceful enough. Like, Black Lives Matter, like, I look at it, okay, like, you're fighting for Black lives, which, you know, like, I agree with you. Yeah, Black Lives Matter, yeah. I follow them, like, I listen to everything they have to say. But at the same time, like, it's like, when do you stop begging? You know? Like, we're not asking, like, you can't keep asking for the same thing. Like, I'm not gonna keep, if I'm knocking on your door,
ain't nobody gonna keep asking.
As my desperation, if I'm knocking on your door because I need to get in the door, as my desperation rises, the louder my knock is going to get. And that's what Tupac said. Exactly. But what I don't see is that desperation. Like,
wow. That's what I think it is. I wonder if it needs to get to totally. that point if it needs to get to where that desperation is, because I think a lot of us too have gotten comfortable. You know what I mean? Some people like, yeah, I want to fight, and yeah, we need more, but you know what? All right, well, let me go, buy this car, let me go to this club, let me do, you know what I mean? Because you think that even if you know that things are not equal and that you can never be repaid for what was done to us anyway, it's not enough for you to get up and really do something, And like you said, I think that's exactly one of the things. That desperation doesn't seem to be there, where it's like nobody's asking anything. We're coming. This is we're demanding, and this is what it is. You either want to follow again. We need that unity. We need us together to be able to do it.
And what good is it if I come out after something happens? Like, no, like you can't wait until something happens. Like, you have to be proactive. So if you want something to stop, like, it's easier to respond to something if you already told them. If you told your child, don't do something, and then they do it, it's easier for you to discipline them for doing it because you told them not to do it. Now, if you didn't tell your child not to do something and they do something, then you have to explain why they don't have to do it.
Right.
So I look at that the same way. That's my same view of America, all these protests, all of these things. If I'm proactive and I tell you, stop killing black people, if you turn around and kill a black person and I respond violently or I respond harshly, it's because I already told you don't do that. And that's the same. That's the same problem. Like, we wait until something happens and then everybody want to go marching. No, if it was marching months ago before this happened, if these things was spoken about, this been happening for years. Nothing changed. Nothing changed. We've been getting, look, Black Wall Street. We've been getting murdered for years and nobody does nothing. But at the end of the day, like, we go marching after something happens and we expect it to change. Nothing changes in Congress. You know why? Because we don't vote in the off years.
I know.
And nothing changes.
And then you have some people in our black community feeling like, well, why vote? They've done they've done all this. That they're not optimistic, like you said. It's pessimism, and so they're like, "Why vote? It's not going to change. I've been living here. It's definitely not going to change in my lifetime. I don't think it's going to change in my kids' lifetime. So I'll do what I can do." And audience, we're not saying you have to do everything, because we understand nobody can speak on what's going on in your life personally. So nobody knows if you have the capabilities to go protest. You know what I mean? Nobody knows what's going on. But what we're saying is that you can do something, just like us talking on this podcast. And it's not like me and Jean, like, we stop here. We do other stuff. So, but you can do something. I mean, call your local officials, demand that, run that phone line up to where it's blocked and they can't get no calls from nowhere else.
At this moment, the George Floyd bill is literally on the table, right?
Right.
What they getting ready to dub it. You know why? Because there's not a strong enough pushback for it. Just like when they tried to take away healthcare, people protest, they march, they went there proactively before the vote was up, and we got it done. Now, we did all of this marching, all of this begging for change, or asking for change, or demanding change, whichever way you fall in that category. And the bill is up, and look, there's not enough senators to pass this bill. We need to do more. We need to do more. We need to be more flexible.
Yeah, but I think it's too about, we all talk this stuff and we all do that. And I think it's about discipline. And we've all been, we all, I think, have had some fault in that, because even if you want to do something, you mean well, this, that, and the other, what is your discipline? because we'll say something on the weekend, and like you said, we'll walk for protests and stuff like that, and then come the weekday, it's like, oh, I can't go today because now I got to go back to work. It's a work week, and I got to do this. And so how are we going to push through, like, no matter what I have to do, this needs to be done, or no matter what I have to do, like they did to bus boycott, no matter what I have to do, walking miles to work. That's what our people did. They walked miles to and from work.
So when I see that lack of
months, years,
when I see that lack of, and when I see that lack of pushback, that's what I mean. When I see that lack of forcefulness, I feel like we let down the people who marched before us.
Yes.
Right now, there's voting rights getting pulled back all around the country. All around the country. I know they did it in Texas. They're doing it in Florida. They're doing it all around the country to take away our votes.
Right.
Right? I see black people getting killed all around the country. All around. Right. And they're taking away our rights as far as votes. So what I see is America is still the America who kidnapped our ancestors and brought us here.
Yes. Oh, very much so.
So we as a people, we got to rise up, get together. We got to put aside our differences, whether it be religion, ethnicities, because like there are many different black ethnicities. Like I'm one of those people. I'm a separator. So like most of the time, I'm like, oh, this person's from there, so he's really not black. Or this person's from. That's me. I'm one of those people. I'm not gonna lie. I'm guilty of it. But
you gotta stop.
I know. I was about to say that. For certain causes, though, like I understand. Like we all got the same struggle. No matter where you're from, no matter what your origins were, like. It's still.
We really know what the origins were, but we won't get into that. It'd be too deep.
Exactly, and that's where my problem originated at. Like, I just feel like some people feel like, oh, I'm from here, so I'm better than them. So it's like, okay, like and I know my heritage. I know where I'm from. I know my origins. I looked it up. I know what tribe I came from. I know all of that stuff. Mm-hmm. So like, I'm deep in the woods with this, but. Like I feel like we need to join together as a people and stop being an open hand and start being a fist. And
but it brings us back, and that's something we can talk further about. I mean, we're gonna have to, but it brings me back, and I hear what you're saying, and everybody hears it, but it brings us back to the same question. So what are we going to do it? Because we all say this, but what are we going to do? Like, what is a way that even if somebody can't do a lot, but they can do something, how can we set up something so that like you can sign up nationwide for little things that you can do? We can organize it. Like maybe that's something we need to figure out and then, sign up. So even people in, we can the internet is everything. Yeah. So we can listen, our internet and figure out how to coordinate, or something like that.
Listeners, if you're out there, whoever's listening, listen. We are open to have anybody on this show that's the organizer. That's
I already know what you're going to say. Absolutely.
that's operating in the grassroots or whatever level you are. We're open to having you on the show. We're open to
some questions. We want to know how to get it done, so we need some help. So we need to seek out people who have the knowledge. I'm all about that. If you feel like somebody has some knowledge or something that could, help you, and I do that all the time. If people ask me, can you help me with this? I'm right there, and I'm simply trying to help. What is it that you need that I can help you on this journey? You can take from me, you can take from Gene, you can take from whatever, each one teach one for real. And I know we're getting ready to close out soon, but let me tell the people this. Okay, Viola Fletcher. Just this brief thing that people may have already read, but I'm not sure, right? Was 7 years old. Can you believe that? She's 107. She was 7 years old when she witnessed one of the worst acts of racial violence the U.S. has ever seen. And angry, and these are for the people who may not be aware, because Gene, there might be some people who are not really aware about what happened. And this is why I'm encouraging people, and Gene is encouraging people this weekend. Please, it's on Sunday. I know you're doing your celebrations, but please take time out to watch this. An angry white mob rampage through Tulsa's Greenwood District. Okay, we're talking about Black Wall Street in Oklahoma, killing hundreds of Black people and leaving her thriving neighborhood in ashes in 1921. 100, and this is what I want to read. It just touched me so bad, and I can't read the whole thing because it's too deep. You know what I'm saying? Like it gives you chills, and it gives you chills to know, like, oh my God, what am I doing?
Exactly.
What you have done and gone through in that time. Okay. The 107-year-old testified before members of the House Judiciary Subcommittee on Wednesday. I think this was, when they say Wednesday, I think it was May 18th. I think it's been a couple weeks. I think it was May 18th.
I just listened to the testimony earlier today. But go ahead. I'm sorry. May 18th? No, I just listened to it earlier today. I don't know what the date was. I heard it earlier today while I was on.
Did you hear her? I was just, when you listen to her, all you got to do is listen, and you've got the visuals. Okay. Calling for justice and for the country to officially acknowledge the massacre ahead of the 100th anniversary on May 31st. And just a little excerpt that she said, like y'all heard Gene say that he listened to it. I did too. I still see Black men being shot. That just hurts my soul so bad. I still see Black men being shot. Black bodies lying in the street. I still smell smoke and see fire, Fletcher testified. I still see Black businesses being burned. I still hear airplanes flying overhead. I hear the screams. I have lived through the massacre every day. So she's 7 and she's 107. You talk about dealing with, not only emotions, but the trauma for years and replaying what you saw because it's so vivid as if it happened yesterday. This is what has been done to our people. So
let me say this, right?
Yeah, go ahead.
Since that happened, Oklahoma put together a commission which raised over $37 million. And do you know they did not give this lady one dime? Right now, she is still struggling to survive, to live right now because of what they did. But go ahead, I'm sorry.
Because I heard about that. When did they just put together that commission?
That was done years ago. They've been raising it for years.
But you know what? There's another thing. I'll have to look it up. That goes with that. Are they organizing another one, or is somebody else? Because there's something else, or maybe, and if they are, or something else is doing something to speak to what you said. I wonder if that's because now, we knew about it, but a lot of us don't know. It wasn't taught in school. It's not in the history books, right? So some people are seeing this for the first time. And I wonder if what I'm talking about, and I'm not going to be able to find it before the end of the show, is they're trying to do something because they know this is getting ready to air on CNN. It's getting ready to air on the History Channel, for people who don't know. So they don't, you know what I'm saying? To try to like, oh, well, we're working together to try to, go back. You know how it goes.
Yeah, because like, I know they said that not one person not one person that survived it, none of the survivors, and none of their ancestors or none of the people who lived after that, their offspring or anything benefited from the money which was raised because of that.
Right. And see, that just makes me, it just really, and I'm sure it makes everybody mad. But what I wanted to say is please make sure this is on, and I'm getting the time because one is showing showing one time on the History Channel, and then it says reports of death began at 36, but historians now believe many as 300 people. Please, probably it's more than that.
Yes,
it's more than that. But Greenwood residents suffered $50 million to $100 million in property damage from the massacre, and they said, "Is this her?" I don't know if this is her, but somebody said they owe us something. Yes, they owe me something. I have lived much of my life poor, to speak to what you said. My opportunities were taken from me and my community. North Tulsa, Black Tulsa, is still messed up today. They didn't rebuild it. It's empty. It's a ghetto. Oh, this is something that Randall, now I think when she was there was another man because she was 107 and he was something else. And this is somebody else, Ben Ellis. Okay, before I go into it, the date is on because one day is showing on CNN. It's showing on is Sunday the 31st. Sunday's the 31st, Gene.
No, I think Sunday is the 30th.
Let me see.
Sunday is the 30th. Sunday's the 30th.
Sunday's the 30th.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see, because I thought they said Sunday. So Monday's the 31st. Hold on. I gotta get this date. We just gotta wait for a minute because I gotta get this date for these. Oh, here it's going to be. Oh, okay, it's called Dreamland. If you all haven't heard of it, it's going to be called Dreamland. Black Wall Street documentary in works at LeBron James and Maverick Carter Spring Hill Entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
LeBron James is always doing something for the culture. You know, I love that.
Yep.
So it is. Hold on. On CNN, okay, on Sunday, on it. I'm sorry, y'all. I just gotta get this time right. Now, isn't that crazy? You know what I'm saying? As soon as I want to give it to the. Okay, no. So Monday, I remember I said it was the 31st, so that's Monday. On Monday, May 31st, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on CNN. And it's coming in CNN Spanish too. So May 31st, audience and listeners, Monday, May 31st at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's going to be Dreamland on CNN. The film will encore Saturday. They're showing it again, June 5th at 9 p.m. HBO Max. But please, we need everybody to tune in May 31st at 9 p.m. And I cannot remember the date, but they're also showing it on the History Channel. So that's what I wanted to leave our viewers and listeners with. Although we talked funny black facts today with our culture and had a lot of fun, a lot of those things we still do today. It is a very serious thing when we talk about what is the next step for our community and people and how we're going to really get true equality, because we know that we got to do it, right? So we just got to figure out what we're going to do and how we're going to get together. But please tune in and watch Dreamland on CNN and also tune in to the History Channel. They're going to show it either.
So the one on the History Channel is going to be May 30th, which is Sunday. It's going to be at 8 p.m.
Okay, so May 30th, Gene said May 30th, the History Channel at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Yes, it's called Black Wall Street Before, During, and After the Tulsa Race Massacre.
Okay, and then CNN, same thing, but it's called Dreamland at 8. So you got two opportunities to watch it. Please don't miss it this weekend. Your family, everybody.
I'm watching both. I said I'm watching both. I'm excited to see it.
I can't wait.
I'm a history buff. I love to learn about things and especially I'm gonna watch Dreamland, but I'm especially excited about the other one because it shows the before. So I want to see what we had before that happened. So I'm really excited to watch it.
I read about it, but years and years ago, but I want to put the visuals with it. I want to really get the full effect. And just like this, Viola 107. I want to hear the people's stories. You know what I mean? Yes. I don't want to just read it. I want to hear what you experienced so we can really feel, that pain that you went through and that you still experiencing today. Absolutely.
Well, I guess, I'm looking forward to that definitely this weekend.
Me too.
I'm supposed to go away, so I'll be away while I'm watching it, or actually I'll still be here. I'm going away right after that, so I'm really excited. It's going to be dope. Well, that's a wrap for the On Everything podcast. I appreciate you, Ella. You have a blessed day. I want to thank everybody so much for listening and tuning in and staying with us. We appreciate y'all all. God bless y'all. Y'all have a wonderful weekend. All right. Thank you.
God bless.